Welcome to Spoken Word Poetry with Lex Magazine. My name is Stephen Coleman, and today I'll be performing No Strings Attached. Is it a violin, or is it a fiddle? His musical weapon, a horse's hair. Whatever PETA says, he doesn't care. Strings dancing in the air are all part of his flair. Sometimes he sings, sometimes he shouts. A true Canadian hero, there can be no doubt. Is it a fiddle or a violin? Music this good should be a sin. Ashley, welcome to Ottawa.
Hi, nice poem. Was that about me?
It was about my favorite fiddle player, Ashley MacIsaac, and you magically arrived.
Oh, well, hey, it's Lex.
For quite a few years, you had sort of stepped out of the spotlight a little bit. You sort of had your rise to fame, and as you've come back, you've been a little bit more reserved, a little bit more humble. Are we seeing a different Ashley MacIsaac?
I definitely, in the very beginning of Hi, How Are You Today's release from 96 to 98, had a lot of media attention because it was a hit record. So, you got to hear a million different versions of the Ashley MacIsaac story.
Yeah.
But as I've got older, I think I'm less humble. I'm probably more nasty. I'm more angry. I'm more in tune with what I do as a living, is part of my culture. So I don't take shit as much as I probably once did. I just don't waste my time telling people about it. So maybe that's what it means to be humble. I haven't had much reason to scream about things, but when there's a reason to, I do.
It seems like the music is taking a little bit more of a forefront. Your stage presence is a little bit more subdued, and it seems like you're focusing on the music.
I'm 40. I mean, I can't jump around like I was 18.
So we're not going to see the kilt like we used to.
This is the Fat Elvis version, yeah. I'm not somebody who's ever owned a kilt, but fiddle players don't wear kilts. That's for pipers. So if you ever saw me in a kilt, it was because it was a suggestion by a record company. I don't wear dresses.
Right. So let's just be frank. In the Conan O'Brien interview, did they suggest that we see a little bit of extra footage, would you have to say?
Yeah, definitely. That was planned and rehearsed during a comedy show. Canadian media at the time put it up to Ash MacIsaac bad boy, I guess was the idea. But it was a comedy show, and they're like, yeah, you're wearing a kilt? Show your nuts. I said, you want to see my nuts? Here you go.
Now, you are a hero to a lot of fiddle players. You sort of single-handedly made the instrument cooler and more edgier. You sort of changed the landscape of alternative music in Canada. What sort of music are you in today? Where do you see the direction of music, and what are you listening to?
I hate bursting people's bubbles, but I never really listened to music. When I started making records, the only outside influence other than the traditional cultural music was dance music from being gay and going to gay clubs. I'm actually right now getting ready to release basically a total dance record, which is what I wanted to do since I was 18. And after 18 years of being on record companies, I finally got out of my deal. And I've made the record that I want to make now, and I'm hoping you'll hear it in the gay clubs.
Now, in the past, you sort of mentioned you were considering getting involved in Canadian politics. Is there anything going on with that, or is that sort of a thing of the past?
No, it's been there before I played the fiddle. I worked my first election when I was 4. I'm not sure it'll be this upcoming election or the next one, but I'm very tempted to run then.
I wanted to ask you about Rob Ford. How do you think he's doing in rehab right now?
Rob Ford is somebody who I've had 6 degrees of separation with because of the first tape that was recorded of Rob was recorded by one of my ex-boyfriends, an audio tape before the video was released. And all I can say is that when you're born with a silver spoon and it turns into be a silver shovel, you can tell the man has been overfed, overdrugged, and frankly, for all the nasty things he's done, there's a lot of people in Canada who deserve rehab, who would like to be in rehab, and I don't give a 2 fucks of whether or not he succeeds or not. I had a narcotics addiction between 97 and 99. I quit. I had a strong personality and I had the ability to because I had something to focus on, which was my music and my life. He clearly doesn't care about politics or his family or his life, or he would have quit a long time ago and quit it on his own. So who cares about Rob Ford?
I sort of wanted to ask you a little bit about the lesbian and gay movement. Now, you were extremely outspoken, quite a few years ago. You got married during a stage show.
I think I came out in 1992.
Right, so you were outspoken before it was sort of common to do so. A lot has changed in the landscape of that. I'm just wondering, how do you see it going these days?
I think there'll be more stories of bad things happening. the real fight seems to be something that people that are younger than me don't think that it's something that they have to be concerned with. Once that happens, people will start seeing people being accepted, and the ones who were against it now become really against it. And it becomes very dangerous in those situations for young people in certain places to ignore the fact that we're not normal, we're different than 95% of the population, and that out of that 95% of the population, maybe 60% agree with us now. And some of the ones who are angry are really angry now.
Yeah.
So you got to watch yourself, probably more today even than before, because we grew up as 40-somethings always watching ourselves. People that were once activists have to remain that, and hopefully young people realize that even though their rights may be granted for them in this country, they can change quickly in this country. They're not granted in other countries, and it's really a time where activism has to really continue a lot harder than it has post Will and Grace.
Everything turned out pretty amazingly well at the Olympics. Maybe just tell us briefly a little bit about that.
Well, it was organized by an Australian producer, which led me to believe that's probably why I was on it, because it wasn't a Canadian in charge. But it was fabulous. I won't use the word lightly. It was definitely a vindication at that point in Canadian media and press to be performing after a number of years of every time I'll see an interview, it's an Ashley MacIsaac comeback. Well, you know, like I don't have to work. I only work because I want to, and I work out of the country and do the occasional show. So I didn't really go anywhere. I just didn't see much reason to play into Canadian press hounds, as I say, only when I felt the need to. And a lot of those things were scandalous type things around seal hunts and odd different things I wanted to speak about. But to get a national audience and a national press, and then for it to be a global thing, that was an honor.
Well, you know, we're definitely honored to have you here in Ottawa. So coming to Ottawa, I thought I'd bring you a local gift.
Oh my God, it's beer!
Local beer.
I don't drink.
Well,
what are you doing with that? I can't be seen with that.
Well, when in Rome, I thought maybe, you know, I could enjoy it if...
Oh! Oh! Oh my God. I'm going to go. It was nice to do an interview. Have a nice day. We'll see you later. Good luck with that, Stefan.
Actually, come back. We're not done.
I got to go. My band's waiting.
But,
see you.
But I have another... We're not done.
Cheers. Good luck.
Turn it off. Turn the camera off. We're done here. We're done. Well, that was our interview with Ashley MacIsaac. I want to apologize. I didn't realize he didn't drink. I didn't realize my homegrown way of drinking wouldn't be so easily accepted. I want to apologize to the people of Ottawa, to Westfest for making a huge mess of it and just ruining everything. And I need a beer. I need a beer. That's Lex Magazine at Westfest. We'll see you next time.
Next time, bring me a joint.